So you played a young Bruce Willis, obviously. Was there a specific Bruce Willis that you based your performance on, like Die Hard Bruce Willis or Bruno Bruce Willis?
I was watching all of his movies, but in fact, Sin City was one I sort of fixated on. I think maybe because there's a lot of voiceover in Sin City, and there's quite a lot of voiceover in Looper, and he's got a great storytelling voice, Bruce does, and so I really wanted to nail that.
Cool. We don't know a lot about your character, and I assume you can't probably tell us too much, but do you do a lot of action and running around?
I did some action, yeah. I did...
Some.
I did. I chop wood, I wield a huge gun, kind of a badass.
All right.
I run around, I drive a big truck.
You sound entirely different than you do right now.
I sound entirely different. Yeah.
Deeper
it would
voice,
be weird with like a British accent in the middle of the Midwest.
You've worked with Ryan before on Brick. How does he differ now with a bigger budget? Is it a similar sensibility, or?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, so Ryan and I made Brick together, and that was his first movie, and now Looper is his third movie. And Brick was this tiny, tiny little indie movie, and Looper's this big action movie. But I think what's important about Ryan and why I love working with him and why his movies are so good is that even though it's a big action movie, he really keeps that dignified artistry to it.
Okay. And what was your experience like working with him?
I mean, he's my favorite and the best director I've worked with, for sure.
Great. And is this your first time at Comic-Con, or?
It's my second time.
Second time, okay. Is there anybody here that you've geeked out seeing so far that you're looking forward to?
God, he wants to see.
I want to meet Yoda. I think you'll help me.
That's a good answer.
Thank you guys.
Thanks. We're all big fans of Brick, obviously. And what was it like? What's different about making a small indie movie like that and a bigger budget and sci-fi movie besides the bigger budget and stuff? Is it?
The weird thing is and this I think is pretty cool. There's not a big difference at all.
Yeah.
It's the same way that when I first made Brick, I had really just made movies with my friends using cameras like this, and the truth was there wasn't a big difference between that and even making Brick. The truth is, at the end of the day, you're telling the story with a camera and some actors,
Right.
Basic tools, there may be more people around you, there may be better snacks on the table next to you, but the basic tools are the same. And if you can tell a story with a video camera and your friends, you can tell a story with a 35mm camera and Bruce Willis.
Cool. How's Joseph Gordon-Levitt changed since you've
he's become
made Brick?
a total dick. He's just, oh God, fame has ruined him. Joe is Joe. He's always been the same guy that I've been friends with now for 10 years. We've been dying to work with each other again. And I wrote this part for him. I wrote the script for him with him in mind. And so luckily he said yes to it.
Cool. Can you tell us about how you got Bruce Willis in the role and maybe share a good Bruce Willis story from the set?
Dude, I have no idea how we got Bruce. It was like the luckiest day of my life, just when I got the call that he was into the script. We just cast him, and he was just super into it. I think it's some good Bruce stories. I had a great time working with him. He was kind of what you would hope Bruce Willis would be like if you hung out with him. Just super cool, but also really focused and into the work. He worked so hard on this performance, and really, I think people are going to be a little surprised by his performance. It's a really emotionally vulnerable performance. And he goes to some places that you wouldn't expect a movie star like him to go to. He's a great actor, man.
Cool.
Yeah.
You've done film noir and now sci-fi. Is another genre you want to tackle in the future?
All of them.
I
want to do them all.
Get them all.
Everything. Musical. And what else? That's the only other genre I can. My brain is so fried. This is just frying my brain on these cameras.
Cool. All right, we'll let you go. But thanks a lot. What was your first day on set with Bruce Willis like? I mean, is nervous and.
So the first time that I met Bruce, we were actually already working, right? And we had been shooting. And I was working on a scene with Jeff Daniels, and Jeff Daniels and I were sitting in two chairs, next to each other. And Bruce came in, and we walked up to Jeff because I guess they're old buddies, and they kind of leaned in and they had a little conversation. And then Jeff looked over at me, and he looked at Bruce, and he looked at me, and he goes, Bruce Willis. And that's
a good intro. Yeah.
That's how I met Bruce. Yeah.
Now you've worked with Ryan before, right?
I have. Yeah.
How was it different working on this bigger budget sci-fi movie than something like Brick?
We had a little bit more time. We had like stunt people and we had big action things exploding and stuff like that. But other than that, it was kind of just like making movies with your friends.
Yeah.
You're with people that you really dig and you're just playing pretend. end. And the scale is bigger, and the hours are a little bit better, not much, but you know, it's pretty much the same thing. And I think that's the best. I mean, it's sort of, you know, yeah. I mean, I guess if there was, you know, we had an espresso machine. We didn't have that on Brick. You know, we had like drip coffee, so you could get like a little espresso. But other than that, it was like pretty much just hanging out with your buddies making movies. You know?
Is this your first Comic-Con?
Yes.
And you're excited to be here?
I feel like I'm in a city full of people like me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like, you know, it's yeah, it's very cool. I'm really happy it exists.
All right, thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks.